You won't believe what this Chupacabra really is. I've got wildlife biologist Jessie Birkhead here to help me figure it out.
Showcasing North Carolina's candid critters. From the Museum of Natural Sciences, it's You Won't Believe with Roland Kays.
We highlight the craziest pictures from North Carolina candid critters, a citizen science project where volunteers like you help us run camera traps across the state to see wildlife and do science. Today, I've got Jessie Birkhead, a biologist with the North Carolina Wildlife Resources Commission, here to help me figure out what's going on in this crazy picture. Thanks for coming, Jessie.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Roland.
All right, so here we have a Chupacabra in North Carolina, right?
Oh, you know, I wish it was something as exciting as a Chupacabra, but I think this is just a coyote.
Just a coyote. I've never seen a coyote look like that before.
You probably haven't. So this is a coyote that has a skin condition called mange.
Ooh.
Yeah, so
It's not a very happy coyote.
Not a very happy coyote. That's why you're seeing a lot of hair loss. You're seeing, you know, the tail that's almost completely naked.
Yeah.
This is an animal that is not doing super well.
Wow, so this is not some kind of goat-sucking demon from Mexico.
No, nothing that exciting. Sarcoptic mange is actually pretty common in red foxes and coyotes, both here in North Carolina.
And so the disease is actually what kind of thing? Is it a bacteria?
Yeah, so it's a mite.
A mite.
So it's a mite that actually lives in the skin of the animal. You can imagine how irritating it would be to have mites living in your skin.
No.
So it causes some hair loss, and it also causes the animals to just itch and hurt and pick at themselves.
Is it contagious? Can it jump to other animals?
Yeah, so contact between an infected animal and another animal. So say this mangy coyote bumped up against another healthy coyote, they could spread the mites from one to the other.
What about from a coyote to a dog?
Yeah, it could also jump to dogs. It could also go from a coyote to a red fox.
To people?
Theoretically, it could go to people as well, but the likelihood of you getting your hands on a mangy coyote is pretty small.
Okay, but if you saw a mangy coyote, say you shot one or you trapped one, you probably wouldn't want to snuggle with it.
Yeah, we definitely recommend wearing gloves and just taking some regular precautions.
Okay, and if your pet were to get mange, can that be treated easily?
Yeah, so there are lots of treatments for mange in domestic animals. Of course, in the wild, trying to apply treatment to a skin condition on a wild animal would be pretty tricky.
Now, do all mangy coyotes look like this, or is there some sort of gradient of how mangy they get?
No, it can be pretty variable. Typically, you'll start to see hair loss around their joints, on their tail, their face is often impacted. Sometimes you'll see their skin gets almost wart-like. It gets thick and leathery. These lesions will develop. And they can have different levels of fur loss, so completely hairless all the way to just, you know, patches of fur.
So is this a death sentence for the coyote, or can they get better from this?
It is not necessarily a death sentence. Some animals are able to recover, but it depends on what other stress is going on for the animal.
Okay. Does mange affect the behavior of these animals in any way?
Well, yes and no. So what mange does is it stresses the animal out, right? They're tired, they're lethargic. So what we see then is that they're more likely to be out and about during the day, for example, just laying in someone's yard because they're simply not able to move well or run away from people. They're oftentimes less afraid of people, just again, simply because they're exhausted, their body's working too hard. So there are some studies that have shown that mangy animals are more likely to be in and around homes, looking for easy food, and are less able to flee or run away when we try to scare them.
But they're not actually more aggressive then?
No, it's not that it's changing, you know, the aggression behavior. It's really just creating an animal that doesn't have a lot of options.
Well, mystery solved, so it's not a Chupacabra,
but
it's still one of the freakiest coyotes I've ever seen. Thanks so much for joining us on the show today, and thanks everyone online for joining us. And remember, if you're in the state, you can sign up at our website at the NorthCarolinaCandidCritters.org to help us run camera traps across the state. I'm Roland Kays. See wildlife, do science.